Hello. Whoa. Next chapter. So it shows right here on the title screen. What is this going to be? School hours are actually my hours off. Even though today's Monday, I skipped school in order to perform my prioritized tasks. Today I'll be investigating the upcoming redevelopment of the Eastern District. Following the success of the theme parks downtown, they hope to draw a swarm of large-scale entertainment businesses into the region. Though the Azai Corporation doesn't directly deal in real estate, projects like these still bring people knocking on our doors. When you are a front for organized crime, your special brand of land sharking and property acquisition is always in demand. However, I'm very sorry, this is simply an accounting error. I apologize for the mistake. Ever since my meeting with Usami 2 days ago, my mind has been wandering. Right, I'm heading there now to look for myself. I couldn't concentrate at all yesterday, and my head felt sluggish, almost like I wasn't fully awake yet. Which is quite odd, considering I went straight to bed after leaving the coffee house on Central Boulevard. This is all Usami's fault. I suddenly thought of Usami in her penguin suit. After hanging up the phone, I watched the passing crowds with apathy. When I walked past the shop Usami worked at, I saw that she wasn't there. What? Scoot forward a bit. A voice suddenly called out to me from behind my back.
最高ですか?
Oh, what's this all of a sudden?
いや別に行ってみたかっただけです。
She's fun. Is she retarded?
それよりどうしたんすか？スーツなんか着て。
What about you? Why are you at school? Dude,
自分は今日は休みです。体調が優れないので。
He is
見てく
mean.
ださいよ。めっちゃうつうつとしてるでしょ。
You always look gloomy. Go get a haircut. No. Oh, don't get a haircut. You're okay. An unusually sincere look of surprise erupted on her typically smug face. What? What?
傷つきました。
Why?
髪は浅井さんのために伸ばしてるんです。
Wait, what? Why would you think I like long hair?
とにかく傷つきました。どれくらい傷ついたかというと、今日の晩ご飯もおごっていただきたいくらいです。
She just wanted to con a meal out of me. I think Azai would be jealous of her. That's not going to happen. I'm busy right now. Because she's so smart. Kyousuke.
お父さんのお手伝い。
My hesitation was clearly a mistake.
なるほどなるほど。学園を休んでまで頑張ってらっしゃるんですね。
Do you have some business with me? Usami laughed. That smug smile was back on her face.
昨日魔王に会ったんですよ。
She spoke so nonchalantly. Or nonchalantly. What did you say? Wait, what did you say? You meant Maou?
遠巻きに会いました。
Huh?
かなり見下ろされました。だいぶ逆光でした。
In other words, you didn't see his face.
声は交わしました。
Really? Usami is rather eccentric, so one can never be sure when she's being serious or not.
ところで、浅井さんは昨日もお仕事されてたんですか？
She changed the topic again. I can't help but feel that she's trying to corner me. I was. What about it?
浅井さんのお仕事は大抵電話で済むんですかね。
Well, occasionally something comes up that can't be resolved over the phone, but that's neither here nor there. Tell me about Maou.
昨日はどちらに？
What's she getting at? I went to Central Boulevard in the afternoon.
そうっすか。
Other than that, I was at home most of the day.
誰かと会ったりしていましたか？
What's this all about? It's as if you're checking my alibi. I only meant it as a joke, but Usami responded with a confident smile.
魔王はこの町を知り尽くしている人物です。どの路地が最小限の時間で姿を消すのに適しているのか、どんな場所が相手に顔を見られずに逃走できるのか、そういうことを熟知しています。
Usami stared intently into my eyes. Is he a man?
おそらく。しかし綺麗な声でした。ああいう声を出せる女性がいてもおかしくはないと思わせられるような中性的な魅力もありました。
She tiptoed around the question. I guess she wanted to give her opinion without coming to any definite conclusions yet. So he escaped.
残念ながら。
I took out my wallet from the breast pocket of my suit. I want to hear everything in detail. I motioned toward the coffee house with my chin.
お仕事はいいんですか？
Don't worry about it. Surveying the Eastern District can wait until this evening.
じゃあ自分カツ丼で。
They don't have it.
ああ、つゆだくがいいです。
I pretty much heard the whole story.
市内をだいぶ走り回りましたよ。
Usami played along with Mao's games and performed fairly well.
最後はしてやられました。姿を見られない場所に誘い込まれているとは気づきませんでした。
In the end, what did Maou want to do?
おそらく私に興味を示したんだと思います。
Interest? Why? Why would someone with the power to circulate drugs in secret be interested in a high school girl?
因縁があるんですよ。
What happened?
それを言うにはまだまだ友情が足りません。
Come on now. Weren't you the one that said we should find Maou together? Usami shook her head.
いいですか、浅井さん。我々は敵と書いて友と読むような関係です。利害関係の一致から協力しているだけです。魔王という強大な敵を倒すために一時的に力を貸し合っているのです。それ言い過ぎか。仲間なんだけどお互い秘密が多すぎていまいち信用できないだけか。
Your rambling is annoying.
ちなみに浅井さんは敵だった時は強いんだけど仲間になった途端に弱くなるタイプかと。
Not exactly sure what she meant by that, but she seems to be mocking me.
まあすいません。自分は魔王に恨みがあるとだけ言っておきます。
Well, I have a grudge against him too. Gonzo came down hard on me because of that guy. I processed all the information. So, Maou already knows everything about you, from your job to this coffee house. He even knows your nickname, Hero.
ですね。
On top of that, he prepared graffiti in advance and used his lackeys to relay messages to you. He probably uses the same kids to move his drugs around. Maou must be a person with a lot of power.
どういう意味で実力者ですか？
Well, at the very least, he's got a lot of money. He has someone working to gather information on you, doesn't he?
あるいは私の近くにいる人間こそが魔王なんでしょう。
I see. So that's why she was interrogating me about yesterday.
まあ身元の割れない携帯電話を用意するあたりも中東ですよね。
He must be quite familiar with the ways of the underworld. I'm beginning to get a faint picture of what this guy is like. What about his age and stature?
年は若いと推測してみます。
Because his voice sounded young.
それもありますが、行動に子供のような遊び心が伺えるからです。
I guess you could put it that way. If he wasn't a little brat, he wouldn't be playing hide and seek along Central Boulevard.
断定はできませんが。
Of course, many successful businessmen also have a playful mind. Some people don't forget their youthful passions. In fact, many people have found unexpected success when branching out into work that, as an observer would put it, allows them to play around.
浅井さんのお仕事の話ですか？
He is so talkative. Well, I only just happen to talk to people like that by tagging along with my dad. I averted my eyes without thinking.
浅井さんは仕事のことになると目つきが変わりますね。
Of course, because we're talking about money. Money isn't a game.
心なしか声色も変わるような気がします。
Tsubaki once told me that too. Like I said, my work involves handling money. During negotiations, I speak from the chest to make it harder for them to get a read on me.
そうですか。かっこいいですね。
I'm being stared at. I sighed and said, You think I'm Maou? Usami nodded without hesitation.
可能性はゼロではないです。
Does my voice resemble Mao's?
それは何とも言えません。ただ、浅井さんの声は時として変わるなと思っただけです。
If you want to talk suspects, I'd say we can't even rule you out yet.
いや、それはないっす。
And why not?
私自身が魔王ではないと知っているからです。
Well, I also know I'm not Mao.
説得力がありませんね。
Neither are you. So we saw her meet Mao, so we know she's telling the truth. Usami smiled wryly. Okay, how about this?
はい。
Let's make a deal.
最低限、私たちはお互いを疑わないということですか？
It's good to know that we understand one another.
別に、私は浅井さんを疑っているわけじゃありませんよ。
I don't know if Kyousuke is Mao, though. I like to believe that myself, but if you put down a security deposit, then I might believe you. He did get that email, though. So.
まあわかりました。何にせよ、浅井さんのことは信用していますよ。無条件で。
Surely no one would trust someone they barely know unconditionally. Thank you very much. Usami stood up from her seat, so we know Kyousuke isn't Maou either.
それじゃあ自分学園行きますんで。
Aren't you taking the day off?
体調が悪いんで休もうかとも思いましたけど、やっぱりサボりはまずいと思うので。
I suddenly realized something. You're actually being serious about not feeling well, aren't you?
まあ、病院に寄るつもりでした。
Do you have a weak constitution or something? I never would have guessed.
いえ、たくましくも可憐なはずですが、スポーツは苦手です。
I'm not sure what she's getting at. Are you going to call a cab?
お金ないので。
Tell me when your payday is, and I'll let you borrow some money.
取り立てるってことですか？遠慮しておきます。
Alright then. Well, let's stay in touch. There's some sort of history between Usami and Maou. She said it was a grudge, but I'm not sure about the details. However, if they have such a history, there's always a chance that Maou will attempt to come into contact with her again in the future. As long as I keep up a good relationship with Usami, I might be able to pick up some important information.
どうしました？考え事ですか？
Huh? Well...
何を考えているか当ててみましょうか。
I've almost taken a shine to that cleverness of hers.
浅井さんにとって私がどれくらい役に立つか計りにかけてるんです。
I think he'd be doing that. It seems getting closer to her won't be a waste of my time. I think you should team up with her, Kyousuke. By bizarre coincidence, I ran into Tsubaki. It was just as I was about to head for Central Boulevard subway station.
やっぱり浅井くんだ。
She can see my face too clearly for me to pretend I didn't hear her. Oh, are you going home now?
学園どうしたの？
I knew she was going to ask me that. How I'm cutting, make up a reasonable excuse. Oh, I don't want to do either of these. No, I don't. Make up a reasonable excuse. Truth be told, I was at a party. In order for her to notice my suit, I adjusted my tie.
Party?
My dad is an important person in the financial world. He said he wanted to introduce me to some people.
でも、そんな理由で学園を休めるの？
I couldn't help it. I want to be of use to my father.
そっか、浅井くん、いつも忙しそうだもんね。
She looks a bit lonely. You live in the Eastern District, right?
うん、そうだよ。
She's nice. Why don't we go partway there together then?
東区に用事でもあるの？
Ah, yes. I need to visit someone.
お友達？
Well, you could put it that way.
浅井くんはお友達多いな。
We walked amidst a sea of people toward the subway station's ticket counter. Land grabbing. To put it bluntly, that's my business here. In the Eastern District, where Tsubaki lives, a large-scale ski resort is under development. However, that area used to be nothing but farmland. The landowners there have owned the property for ages. One company was very particular about buying all the land quickly. After some investigation, I discovered that it was a subsidiary of the Sano Corporation. If you even think about doing something big in this town, Sano's omnipresent name will come up sooner or later. The Sano Corporation is a perfectly clean company, of course, but if there's a problem they can't settle cleanly, they leave the dirty work to us. 5 families. Our contract with Sano requires us to drive 5 families away from their land.
浅井くん、そろそろ着くよ。
The subway exit opened near a small park. This place is different from Central Boulevard. The sea of people is nowhere to be found. Sure is cold out here.
山が近いからかな。
As Tsubaki was talking, my cell phone vibrated inside my breast pocket. Sorry, I gotta take this. It's Miki-chan. Hello? Yes, I see. Not a problem. And how about next week? Okay.
電話終わった？
Yeah, it was a friend.
ひょっとして彼女さん？
I don't have a girlfriend.
前にいるって言ってなかったっけ？
I don't remember ever saying that.
本当にいないの？
Nope, still single. I'm not the type for serious commitment.
そっか、そうなんだ。私勘違いしてた。
She seemed embarrassed, but also kind of happy.
彼女さんいるならあんまり一緒に歩いたり CD 買いに行ったりしたらダメかなって思ってたの。
Even if I did have one, that much would be fine.
うん。でも悪い気がしてたの。
She took a deep breath to show her relief. Apparently to Tsubaki, something of that extent was a major offense. I have some pretty complicated feelings about this one. To be honest, I kind of find her a little hard to deal with. She doesn't do any of the things a normal person would deliberately do to be liked by others. And naturally, when a person is too kind, you have a hard time believing they're genuine.
どうしたの？何か不機嫌？
Even so, she has good intuition. Well, I'll be going now.
どこに行くの？
The address is... Her eyes widened when she heard me repeat the street and number. Tsubaki had always been an interesting girl. She possessed so much of what I lacked. The thought of becoming deeply involved with her crossed my mind.
あ、それって。
Coincidence dictated that this thought would become a reality.
うちの家の住所だよ。
Chapter 2, Kidnapping Spree. Oh. Well, okay. Do I have to click? Okay. He stands there, pondering. It's been almost an hour. Maou closes his eyes. There is no heating, and the ice-cold wall pressed against his back. With such indifference to the cold, it's as if he were a monk who had suppressed all sensation from the outside world. Maou already has a plan. When the plan is carried out, a crime of historical proportions will be brought upon this very city. However, the time is still not right. All the preparations have been made. All that remained was to simply await the perfect moment. It is, to use a cliché, like the calm before the storm. Are there any loose ends left to be neatly tied together? Did he miss anything during the planning phase? He pondered this over and over. He always arrived at the same answer. There's nothing left to do. Right now, his best course of action is to lay low. Usami Haru. If there is any unknown factor in the plan, it's her. Maou used the detective agency to check up on Usami Haru. That long-haired girl was quite different from normal high school students. He had experienced her incredible intelligence firsthand. The detective has searched her personal contacts and background as well. In the process, they uncovered that Usami Haru had another side to her. However, it's not something that could threaten Mao's plans. What need is there to fear her? There are plenty of other people who also hold a grudge against Maou. He heard the sound of the elevator moving. Someya bowed deeply. A hint of sweat rolled down his forehead as he stood up straight.
He
stared at Someya's red face. He spoke to him with his eyes. It was not a meeting, but a party, wasn't it? I also did my homework about you, about how much you loved that liquor. Someya breathed out words drenched in the smell of alcohol.
すまなかった。大事な相談だったんだ。何しろ国土交通省の役人も来ていたのだから。
結構なことです。ただ時間が有限であることをお忘れなきよう。
The conversation immediately switched gears. Someya is now quite submissive to Maou. Seeing him soundly defeat even the get genius from Boston apparently left quite the impact on him. Someya doesn't know anything about Maou. Name, age, history. All of his information had been fabricated. But in some businesses, it's better not to know your partner's true nature. After all, it's easier to escape the law that way if it happened to come to that. Someya tried to be understanding. Mao's biggest contribution to the Snow Corporation was the smuggling of firearms. Since before the war, the nation's firearm industry was monopolized by a single company. Mao's prowess is what helped break this monopoly on the Japanese firearms market. The Japanese tax on imports was harsh, but Maou saw a weak point in their low tax on exports. By establishing a base in the ports of Niigata and Fukuoka, and by forming ties with miscreant foreigners who had past experience in doing business with organized crime groups, he formed a route between North Korea and Hong Kong. There were a number of huge risks involved. He knew the country's crisis management was something not to be underestimated. Regardless of how powerful his enemy may be, it was something he had to do. They finished talking about business. They'd cover topics like how to cover up the weapons, the method in which to smuggle them, which people they need to win over to their side. Everything had been taken care of. Someya finally relaxed.
君の目的は何なのだ?
目的?
君ほどの男だ。金ではないのだろ?
The alcohol must have been wearing off. Someya looked a little tense.
そろそろ長い付き合いになる。君の夢の一つでも聞かせてもらえんかね。
That look in his eye is not bad at all, he thought. From the very beginning, Maou had never taken Someya lightly. True, he did think he was easy to manipulate, but not to the point where he would hold contempt for him. When Someya ascended to the position of Director of Senior Management for the Snow Corporation, he took the organization in a whole new direction. As part of a policy of rapid expansion, the company invested most of its proceeds into new and different ventures. Of course, since the new plan involved giving lower priority to employee bonuses, there was no shortage of opposition to it. But all of this, even working with Maou and expanding into a legal business, was all for the sake of the company.
私の父は戦中派の人間でね。この会社のために懸命に働き、骨をうずめていった。 私は父が大きくした会社を守っていかねばならないんだよ。
ご立派な志です。
He said that sincerely. Even though people call him Maou, Maou never actually thought of himself as some sort of overbearing existence. He knew that Someya, being over 30 years older than himself, no doubt had certain capabilities with which he himself could not compare.
謙遜するな。君の目は戦いを前にした父の目に似ている。大きな志を持った男の目だ。
夢などありません。本当です。
He said this absolutely. Someya lowered his head. The man seemed to be trying to hide his disappointment.
まあいい。何にせよ、金で動かない人間は扱いが難しい。
何かお困りのようですね。
鋭いな、君は。なに、東区の用地買収がね、思うように進んでないんだ。
土地を手放したくない人間がいるんですね。
相場の2倍の金を出すと言っても聞いてくれない。あまりに困ったんで、プロを雇うことにしたよ。
Probably specialists in organized violence. So Someya likes these brute methods too. Nowadays, though, land sharks can't use the same kinds of violent methods they did back during the bubble. It's understandable that he'd have trouble making a settlement.
あと、たったの一区画なんだがね。
Someya took out his notebook. Addresses and blueprints were scattered throughout the pages. He flipped to a page which listed the families unwilling to move out.
いずれにせよ、私には関係のない話です。
Maou flung his hand to cast away the request.
これはすまなかった。君の手を煩わせるつもりはない。
染谷室長が手を煩わせるほどのことでもないでしょう。
Indeed, it would be more appropriate for a section chief at a subsidiary company to be worrying over a matter like this. He was well aware of how much effort the Sinnoh Corporation had invested in the Eastern District Recreational Project. Still, Someya was the director of senior management at corporate headquarters. It would be hard to swallow that this project was so important to him. Certainly there was more to this story.
国土交通省の方とお会いになっているそうですね。
君にはかなわんな。そう、株だよ。
Insider trading. Indeed, if this project proceeds successfully, the value of the stock would skyrocket and fast. Someya obviously passed on some information to bribe the official. Succeeds successfully. No, just then, Maou picked out a name from Someya's notebook. Okay, he closed his eyes. Mio Tsubaki. Where had he heard this name?
どうかしたのかね。
いえ。
気分が悪そうだが。
Oh, yes. She's an acquaintance of
この
Usami
三輪
Haru.
椿という少女は自由ヶ崎学園に通っているのでは。
知り合いかね。
Maou chuckled. What should he do with his free time before the storm? The answer to the object of his ceaseless pondering had come together in an instant. He could use Tsubaki to corner Usami Haru, forcing her to submit.
染谷室長、私に任せていただきたい。
Someya caught his breath.
どういう風の吹き回しだ。
南米のテロリストの話です。旅客機の中にテロリストが狙う要人がいました。テロリストは要人を殺害するだけでは気が済まなかった。何の罪もない旅客を巻き添えにして飛行機を墜落させました。要人と同じ飛行機に乗っていたという理由だけで。
Mao's lips twisted into a frown. Negative emotions stirred within him. Emotions he could not suppress. Just as Maou had said, he does not have a dream himself.
私の心にあるのはただ一つです。
さっきから何を言ってるんだ。
すべてお任せください。
Maou turned away from Someya. His whole body trembled. There was one thing, one emotion, able to force Maou into action. Revenge. Only revenge. In the end, I never went to Tsubaki's house yesterday. Well, I'll just have to go some other time. I had to leave Tsubaki due to an emergency.
おはよう、浅井くん。
Oh, I'm terribly sorry about yesterday. Tsubaki, unaware of the conflicting thoughts inside me, gave her usual smile. Do you think I could come over to your house and hang out sometime soon?
どうして急に？
So, does that mean I can't?
いや、いいけど。
What's up? It's unusual for you to appear so flustered.
ちょっと恥ずかしかったから。
Okay. Embarrassed?
うちってちょっと特殊だから。
Oh, now I really want to go. How about today? I smiled and moved closer to her.
いや、うちに来るっていうことは、お父さんにも紹介しなきゃいけないよ。
So what? It's not like I'm asking for her hand in marriage.
でも、お父さんとか勘違いして舞い上がっちゃうよ。何困ってるの、椿ちゃん。
Eiichi made an appearance out of nowhere.
いや、浅井くんがうちに来たいって。ダメなの？ダメじゃないけど恥ずかしいなって。じゃあ僕も一緒に行ってあげるよ。
What? Look, kid, I don't need to tag along.
じゃあ自分も一緒に。
Don't butt in where you aren't welcome. Why did the two of you suddenly pop up anyway?
ただ自分あれなんすよね。今日はちょっとだけバイトなんで少し遅くなるかもしれません。僕もペットに餌あげてから行くね。あ、じゃあ一緒に行きましょう、絵手吉さん。いいよ。駅で待ち合わせしない？
Tsubaki raised her head.
みんな一緒ならいいかな。やったわ。
Well, whatever. She didn't have a lot of emotion to that. She was like, yay. Even a few phone calls between classes. I needed to discuss the Miwa family. I was getting some heat for being too slow with my work. Oh, hello. Yes, this is Kyousuke. Please go there tonight again. Yes, no, under no circumstances are you to get too rough. Is that understood? I called the company and asked them to send some people over to Tsubaki's house tonight. I need to go check out the place too. There must be a reason they're not selling. The whole Eastern District is a rural area. Indeed, the property value there has risen tremendously due to everyone's attention on the upcoming ski resort, but it's still nowhere near the value of downtown property. They must have a lot of guts to turn down an offer several times higher than the property's worth. My job is to uncover the reason behind their persistent refusal and then destroy that reason whittle by whittle. Hi, Shiratori. Face camera's covering you. I suddenly spotted Shiratori with the corner of my eye. Hey. She barely even looked at me. A couple of us are going to Tsubaki's house tonight. You want to come too?
遠慮しておくわ。
Don't say that. It would be fun to have a little get-together. We're going to have a big nabe party as a family. Come on. What do you say?
授業始まるわよ。
She turned around to leave. Hey, hold on a second. Why do you hate me so much?
あなた、自分がどういう人間なのか自覚していないのね。
What kind of person I am?
あなたの裏の顔を知ったら、一緒に鍋パーティーなんてしたがるかしら。
Don't be like that. You want to make everyone leave me by telling them about my true self?
あなたは本当に友達を友達として見てるの？
This girl just doesn't quit. Let me ask you something, Shiratori. Have I wronged you in some way? Perhaps I do have a dark side, one that I wish to hide. Does that affect you negatively in any way? Of course it doesn't. Shiratori's just afraid of me. It's not like I'm going to eat you. Let's be friends, okay? I reached out my hand courteously.
いや。
Absolute rejection. Even her back was visibly angry. Jeez. What the heck did I do wrong? I don't know. By the time class ended, the sun had already started to set.
本当にうちに来るんだよね。
Are you that against it? After we walked out the school gate, Tsubaki kept mumbling to herself.
今日は浅井くんがお家に来ます。驚きの一日になりそうです。ある。
Did you call your parents?
さっき学園の公衆電話で。
Did they say anything? Did they say anything?
すごい嬉しそうだった。お父さんがお母さんに赤飯を炊けとか言ってた。
Oh. What kind of family is that? There were many things I wanted to ask about Tsubaki's father. What does your dad do for a living?
いつも畑にいるよ。
Oh, he grows vegetables?
リンゴとか。
Oh, this is the first time I've heard about this. Has he always been a farmer?
おじいちゃんもひいおじいちゃんもずっとやってたんだって。
The man runs an apple orchard. I was wondering why this particular piece of land was so big. It's a whole field of apple trees. I get the feeling we'll have to compensate them for each individual apple tree when they move out. We might even end up having to arrange for them to get substitute farmland. Yet even though all of this would certainly raise the compensation costs, I can't imagine it would sum up to match the value they were already offered. Thus, the reason they won't move is... I see. So this land has been in your family for generations.
お父さんもお母さんも愛着あるみたいなんだ。
They simply don't want to move from the place they're comfortable with. A very simple and very obvious reason.
でも最近ね、引っ越してくださいって言われてるみたいなんだ。
A very sticky situation indeed. This isn't an issue of money.
お父さんは断固拒否してるんだけどね。営業の人もなかなか諦めないみたいで。
Seems like you're in a bit of trouble. Perhaps I can help you with this.
浅井くんが？
Didn't I tell you that I work for my dad? I know a few professional surveyors and asset managers.
本当？すごいな。 浅井くんは頼りになるな。
Tsubaki's face blushed brightly, like an apple. Also, let me talk a bit with your dad.
私からもお願いするよ。お父さんも土地とか権利とか難しい話はよくわからないらしくて困ってるの。
It'd be great if I could help out. I smiled brightly. A highly calculated smile. Excellent.
ここだよ。
We rode the subway all the way to the Eastern District. Tomenbetsu City is divided into 9 districts. The Eastern District is the most rural one. The whole place is farms and greenhouses, as far as the eye can see. But on the road, huge freight trucks and excavators busily and mercilessly work to clear the land. The development is progressing. Are Eiichi and Usami going to be coming?
お家の住所は教えておいてよ。
I wonder what they're here to do.
みんな一緒の方が楽しいよ。
Forget Eiichi for a second. Usami's presence is the one that kind of bothers me. In that case, let's go in.
ちょっと待って。
Tsubaki stopped me.
栄一くんと宇佐美さんが来るのを待ってからにしない？
Huh? But didn't they say they'd be late?
それまでどこかで時間を潰してればいいんじゃないかな。
Where?
公園とか。
And do what?
ブランコ。
I mean, that sounds fun. Are you serious?
滑り台でもいいよ。
Come on now.
ごめん、かくれんぼの方が良かった？
This is ridiculous. Do you only play kids games?
ゲームとかもするんだよ。
Alright, sounds good to me. And to do that, we need to get inside. So let me in already.
ちょっと待って。
You better help me in, girl. No matter how you look at it, she clearly doesn't want me to visit her home.
浅井くんに迷惑かかるよ。
And playing hide and seek outside in the winter cold won't be a headache.
だって勘違いされちゃうよ。
Misunderstood how?
うちの家族の勢いすごいから。
I don't really understand what you're getting at.
みんなで一斉に勘違いされちゃうよ。
Oh, for goodness sake. Ugh. I pushed Tsubaki aside and crossed the house's threshold.
わかったよ、わかったから。せめていいよって言うまで待ってよ。
Alright. What are you trying to hide?
じゃあ待っててね。着替えてくるから。
Tsubaki hurried inside. I waited a bit. No, I waited a lot. You can come in now. Tsubaki's voice finally came from inside the house. You can come in now. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, I'm going in Tsubaki's house. Upon entering, an uproar of voices immediately greeted me.
あ、来た来た。来た。
How lively.
彼氏も来たか？
Tsubaki yelled from behind me. However, as if drawn to the noise, I went ahead and took off my shoes. Thanks for inviting me. Oh, wow. Hold on a sec.
彼氏だ
おお、これはなかなかのイケメンじゃないか。
お姉ちゃんやる
She has a big family.
彼氏かっこいいお姉ちゃんご飯
An incredible number of gazes.
彼氏名前なんて
おい、ひろあき、それはパパが聞きたいんだ。
さあさあ、座って座って。寒かったでしょ？
ママご飯まだ
1, 2, 3, 4. Huh?
ごめんね言ってなかったっけ
Wait a minute. What's with this crazy number?
おい、椿、お父さんに紹介しなさい。
Her father lightly tapped his slightly bulging belly. Well, I'm... Just as I was going to say my name. Um...
こら、チロミ。
うわ切ったね
椿。
お父さん、お行儀悪いですよ。
I looked to Tsubaki for help.
みんなちょっと静かにしてよ姉ちゃん僕お腹すいたよ
もうこの子ったら。
お姉ちゃんご飯
The noise just wouldn't stop. You have a big family, Tsubaki. Since they weren't making any progress on their own, I tried raising my voice. Suddenly, a soup spoon flew toward me.
こら
Excuse me.
ビエーン
What the? This time it's a chopstick.
こら、お前たち、椿の彼氏になんてこと。
彼氏じゃないよお父さん
Tsubaki sounded flustered. I see. Now I know why Tsubaki didn't want me to come.
ビエーン
The second chopstick hit my face. Oh no.
もうみんな落ち着いてよ
At this moment, the doorbell rang.
お邪魔します
It's Eiichi.
はいはい、いらっしゃい。上がってくださいな。
すごい人数
ちょっとなんすかこれ、大家族スペシャル。
The population density of the room increased once more with the arrival of Usami and Eiichi.
だから嫌だったんだよ
I want to go home. Okay, we're here. Tsubaki's
ごちそう
house.
さました。
What a brutal dinner.
椿ちゃんって5人兄弟なんだね。
And she's the eldest, which makes it even worse. After the kids finished eating, they all quickly went to sleep.
ごめんね。お父さんが変なことばっかり言って。
和田井さん、完全に椿の彼氏さんってことになってますね。
Metamorphosis. Indeed, quite an overwhelming man, that father of yours. And as I smiled bitterly, a voice came from the changing room.
おい
That's a
京介
silly
君
way to say
風
it.
呂入っていけよ
That's okay.
背中流してやるぞな
お父さん、もういいってば。
As if forgetting my original purpose here, I leisurely spent the evening in the company of my classmates.
みんなデザート食べる？
Tsubaki's mother put some pears on the table.
うまそうっすね。がっつりいただきます。
あ、フォークあるよ。
いらん。
Usami grabbed a pear with her hands and nibbled it like a small animal.
おい、京介。
Eiichi whispered to me. Huh?
お前ら本当に付き合ってんだろ。
Of course not.
隠すなよ。わかるんだよ、俺ちゃんクラスになると。
She's a nice girl, though. We're not dating, right, Tsubaki? Tsubaki?
何？
Tsubaki. Eiichi's under the impression that we're really dating.
だってここんところ一緒に遊んでるじゃない。
そうっすね。CD 一緒に買いに行ったりしてましたね。
Usami joined the conversation as she stuffed her cheeks with pears.
忙しい京介くんにしては珍しいなって。おめえが特定の女に熱を上げるなんて珍しいっつうこと。
What nonsense. You're just overthinking things. It is nonsense, but perhaps it wouldn't be so bad to date her. If I could get her, and by extension, her family's trust, then it would be much easier to talk them in a mood.
じゃあまあ、二人は交際してるってことで。
At that moment, Tsubaki shook her head.
ごめん、本当に違うよ。
She smiled gently as if to remonstrate Usami and Eiichi.
変な誤解があると浅井くんに迷惑だから、はっきり違うって言わせて。
Caused me trouble. That one stuck with me for a while.
お姉ちゃん、おしっこ。
The youngest brother came by, rubbing his eyes.
はいはい、ひろあき、こっちだよ。
She took his hand and walked out into the hallway.
椿ちゃんは優しいね。
私の仲間その1ですからね。
どうしたの、京介くん。はっきり違うって言われてショックだったの？
We will date if we want to. Eiichi's still making fun of me. We're not dating because you say we are. A little. So I also joked around. I'm sure any man would love to have a wife so devoted to family. Of course, a family is not the type of satisfaction I want in life.
そういえば宇佐美さんは？
はい。好きな人とかいないの？
Oh.
自分っすか？いますよ、はい。
Oh. Really? She said it nonchalantly. That's cute.
ってはぁ？
She suddenly got aggravated.
いないっすよ、んなもん。
Huh?
どっちなの？浅井さんでないことだけは確実です。
Me?
じゃあ僕やだな。僕年上の人が好きなんだよ。ごめんね。でも考えておくね。
何ごちゃごちゃ抜かしてんすか。
She continued chowing down on her pear. Tsubaki came back with her brother.
姉ちゃん一緒に寝て。
He came back. I didn't
今
pronounce
は
that right.
お友達来てるからダメだよ。一緒寝て。ひろあき。
I stumbled on the pronunciation of
困った
that.
子だな。
Usami wiped her hands and stood up.
そろそろ帰りますかね。
そうだね。
I looked at the clock. I'm ready to head out too. But they should be here soon.
お母さん、誰か来たよ。
はいはい、お父さん出てくださいな。
誰だ、こんな時間に。
Tsubaki's father walked out of the bath and went for the door.
姉ちゃん眠いよ。
Tsubaki's little brother still clinging to her.
もうしょうがないな。
Nevertheless, she showed no sign of disgust at her brother's nagging. Do you always sleep together?
だいたいね。特にひろあきは一番寝つきが悪いの。
So, her brother's name is Hiroaki.
お姉ちゃん。
Noises came from the front of the house. People are shouting something.
何かな。お父さん、どうかしたの？
帰れ、バカモンが。
His conspicuously loud voice reached the living room. Tsubaki looked unsettled. A short while later, her father came back to the living room.
まったく、あいつらは。
Oh no.
あなたまたですか？
今度はもっとたちの悪そうなのが来たよ。
Men from the Zai Corporation. Gangsters sent to negotiate with him.
どうしたの、椿ちゃん。なんでもないよ。ごめんね。
Tsubaki held her brother's hand tightly. Since I need to hear the report, I should be leaving now. Well, we should all be going now. I tipped my head.
帰るんすか？
Huh? Usami stood in front of me as if trying to block my way.
気にならないんすか？
Usami shot a glance at Tsubaki's parents, who were talking in the kitchen. I lowered my voice. This is their family business. Should we really get ourselves involved?
そうっすか。今日のところは帰りますか。
Usami looked at Tsubaki once more.
おい、椿。何か困ったことがあったら、ちゃんと私に言うんだぞ。
ありがとう。
私を頼れ。いいな。
She spoke with conviction.
じゃあ、僕も帰る。
We all stepped out after saying our goodbyes.
今日はありがとう。楽しかったよ。
Tsubaki came out to send us off.
バイバイ。
It was good to meet all of her family. Her brother Hiroaki waved goodbye, looking half asleep already.
美味しいご飯にありつけて、私はとても気分が良かったのでした。丸。
After that decidedly Tsubaki-esque comment, Usami turned and left. Tsubaki, can I call you later?
何時くらい？
I don't know, but you go to bed late, right?
うん。でも、どうして？
She probably means, why use the telephone? Oh, it's nothing important. I'm just a little worried about you. I scratched my hair as if embarrassed by my corny display of compassion.
ありがとう。待ってるね。
Even though Tsubaki always has a smile on her face, I could tell that this smile was somehow different.
優しいな、浅井くんは。
This should do.
じゃあね。うん、気をつけて帰ってね。
There. We got to go to her house. Okay. Bye.